Hi, my name is Jeff Bailey, founder of Avita Yoga, which is a practice primarily designed for bone and joint health. But over the years, I've had a number of students come into the practice who experience vertigo. Some shape or movement that we're doing triggers an episode, and then I learn that the vertigo is something that they deal with in their life. But if there's a movement that triggers pain or something like vertigo, and then we avoid the movement, our lives just get narrower and narrower and narrower. Restrictions and compensations start to accumulate in the body, and that can contribute to other issues. So we need a way to unwind the pain and unwind the patterning that can contribute to things like vertigo. I'm going to get to that in a moment in this video and show you some movements exactly for that. But first, let's look at some of the other causes. It's things like crystals in the inner ear. There could be neurological issues that we want to rule out. The bite, the way your teeth come together, can have an impact. And of course, stress. The stressors in our lives cause all kinds of different ailments. But let's look at each of those just a little bit closer. You've probably heard of the potential for crystals to accumulate in the inner ear canal. There's something called the Epley maneuver that is a series of movements with the neck and the head to get those crystals to work their way through and ultimately discharged from the inside of the ear. Do a YouTube search for the Epley maneuver and you'll find that. If there's any kind of a neurological issue or you suspect something like that, then for sure you want to see a medical professional to rule that out. The bite. See, the way that teeth come together, if we are over closing, that is, if there's a lot of wear on the teeth and the front teeth come down significantly past the bottom teeth in the front, then that means the jaw is over closing, and that can put pressure up into the temporomandibular joint, the TMJ, and the surrounding tissues. And that pressure somehow impacts the nervous system, creating headaches, migraines, and vertigo. If we can rule those things out, what I have found is that there's some degree of stress or tension in the upper back, the shoulders, and the neck. Similar to overclosing on the bite, these stressors get pushed into the nervous system and impact the vestibular system, our ability to balance. And that's what creates this sensation of dizziness. If we succumb to the pain and we succumb to the limitations, that is, if we get fearful of going into the movements that can trigger these kinds of episodes, our lives get narrower and narrower and narrower. We stop having so much fun, we avoid these movements, and avoiding these movements can lead to other restrictions and implications. So my contribution, my aim here is to show you some simple movements to get your life back and regain, very, very slowly and thoughtfully, regain these movements without triggering the vertigo. That means it's best to do these practices when you're not having an episode. The goal is going to be to unwind the tension, unwind the restrictions, slowly get the movement back without triggering a headache or a migraine, and ultimately get back into a regular practice. Maybe ultimately you'll be inspired to have a regular practice to maintain the freedom and the movement, as well as freedom and movement in the rest of your body. It's all connected and it all goes together. There's one important piece of yoga equipment that I'd like you to consider. This is an inexpensive 3-inch foam block. They come in 4-inch and 3-inch versions. These are inexpensive. You can probably even find one at a secondhand store. I like it because it has a soft, resilient quality. It's very, very smooth, so we can isolate the movement that I'm about to show you. You're going to lie on your back with your head supported on the foam block. Now, if you want to get started right away and you don't have a foam block, you could substitute a folded blanket. A dense cotton or wool blanket folded up to about 2 or 3 inches would suffice. But find yourself a block, you're going to love it. So we begin lying on the back, knees bent, feet on the floor, head supported by your foam block. Arms at the sides. I typically encourage students to do the practice mostly with eyes closed, but closing the eyes, if you're having a vertigo experience or susceptible to one, then please keep your eyes open and maybe even pick a spot on the ceiling to focus your gaze. The arms resting and relaxing. This is step one. Head supported, shoulders relaxing. Maybe close your eyes and relax your jaw. We want to maintain a feeling of safety throughout the movement. So, here in step one, does it feel safe? Do you feel secure and grounded? If you need to keep the eyes open, keep them open. And then we slowly start to turn the head to one side. In this case, turning the head to the left, rolling the head on the block, chin in the direction of the left shoulder. Now, I'm not trying to accomplish the shape. I'm not trying to do anything. This slow, thoughtful movement I'm doing to see what kind of feedback or sensation I feel. Is there pain? Do I feel some arthritis? Do I feel a potential vertigo episode coming on? If any of those things are true, I stop, I relax, I slow down, and here's the key. I give all the systems within me a chance to reorganize and adapt to this moment in time in this particular shape. So I might move just a few degrees and relax and maybe close the eyes and wait. And then maybe consider moving on. After 1 to 2 minutes, slowly bring the head back to the center and pause. We're reclaiming the movement. We're getting our life back here. And then we slowly test the other side, rolling the head to one side. Now, if I feel tension or stress or strain, voila, I found the restriction. I just need to spend some time with it. See, we can actually celebrate the restriction. Why? Because we found it, and now we can resolve it. And then after 1 to 2 minutes, we bring the head back to the center. Now, you could set a timer, but it's not necessary. 1 to 2 minutes, just let it be intuitive. Trust your inner guidance. So this is step one, arms at the sides. Step two is moving the arms toward a T shape. If I feel any kind of restriction along the way or limitation, then there I stop. See, because I don't know if the restriction in my shoulder is contributing to the issue. We have the physiology within us to dissolve and resolve restrictions and blockages. We just give the body time to reorganize. That's the key. Now, arms in a T shape, palms begin to open toward the ceiling. I stretch open the fingers. I open the thumb, nail toward the floor. Both hands. This is kind of a spiraling quality through the arms. And I move the shoulders down away from the ears a tiny, tiny bit. So you might even feel this fascial release. I open the palms, I slide the shoulders down. I feel for any kind of restrictive sensation across the chest, through the elbows, across the palms. And if I do, I stop and I wait for it to resolve. If it's all good, then I repeat the same movement, rolling the head on the block, chin toward the left shoulder. If I feel a stretchy sensation, I wait, I spend time with it. We don't push, we don't fix, we don't try to have any agenda at all. We heal in the present moment. 1 to 2 minutes, spreading open the fingers, reaching, shoulders down. I roll through the center, explore the movement to the right. Other side. Keenly aware of any potential to trigger a migraine or a vertigo experience. When I feel a restriction, I stop 1 to 2 minutes, bring the head back to the center. Step 3 is really just a variation. Palms down. I'm still spreading the fingers, and now I'm trying to get all the fingertips, fingerprints, onto the floor. Thumb, base of the first finger. If I feel restriction here in the upper back and shoulders, I may not even do the head turns. I've got to just give this time to release. If it's good, and I feel like it's safe to move on, and then it's the same thing, rolling the head to the left, chin toward the left shoulder, pausing for speed bumps, welcoming the feedback. 1 to 2 minutes, back to the center, rolling to the right, chin toward the right shoulder. 1 to 2 minutes, and back to the center. Okay, so we could say step 1, can I be fully relaxed, head supported by the block, and have the gentle turns side to side? Step 2, palms toward the ceiling, spreading the fingers, repeating the head turns. Step 3, palms down. Okay, now there is a step 4, and it's all of the same movements with the legs up on the wall. I'm going to show you what that looks like. Now, how do we get the legs up on the wall? We sit on the edge of the mat. I want about 8 to 10 inches between me and the wall. And as I roll back, legs up on the wall. Now, you're only going to attempt this if you've had success in steps 1, 2, and 3. Notice my legs are up on the wall, my knees can fully extend. I probably maybe even have 8, 10, 12 inches or more between me and the wall. But the sacrum, that's the tailbone, has to rest fully on the floor. The heels against the wall and the knees passively extending. Now, why this? Well, imagine the increase in energy and blood flow and pressure through the shoulder girdle, through the neck, into the skull and the brain. Okay, it's a lot of increased pressure. And so we start all over. If you make it this far and you have your legs up on the wall, we start over. Step 1, head supported, arms at the sides. Am I safe and sound? In the beginning, you might just spend 1 or 2 minutes like this. And then, if all is okay, we roll the head on the firm, resilient surface, chin toward the left shoulder, garnering the feedback, welcoming it, waiting for it to resolve. 1 to 2 minutes through the center to the other side. All good? I move on. Palms up toward the ceiling. Spread the fingers wide. Extend the elbows, shoulders down. Roll the head to the left. See, you get the idea. 1 to 2 minutes through the center, roll to the right. Back to the center, palms down. And I hope I'm making it super clear. There's no accomplishing the shape. We're not here to impress anybody. We simply have the movement to raise the restriction and the problem to the light of your awareness, where your healing mind and your physiology dissolve the blockages and reorganize your structure and all the underlying systems, which includes the nervous system. It includes the circulatory system. It includes the lymphatic system. Rolling the head to the left, back through the center, rolling the head to the right, 1 to 2 minutes each side. Migraines, vertigo, or not, these are wonderful shapes to resolve tension. When the movement is finished, you bring your arms back down by your side, Drop into peaceful presence. And then bend the knees, roll onto one side, push yourself up to a seat, maybe lean back against the wall. Have any comfortable seated shape. And pause a moment. See if you can let a feeling of gratitude and potential come into your heart and mind. I hope you found these shapes and these movements helpful. If you have any questions about the practice, put some comments below or reach out to us through avitayogaonline.com. I'm here to help. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste.